Hi boys and girls, it's Shane, and I'm going to use classic Southern racism to teach you how to upgrade this outlet to one with USB and USB-C ports. This is how my grandpa taught me. I grew up in the South. You can find these at a hardware store or on TikTok Shop or lots of other places, but this is a non-contact voltage tester. It just beeps, kind of like a sonic screwdriver in Doctor Who if there's electricity, so that's a spicy wire. So we can go turn off the breaker switch. And then we double check and make sure, and now it's definitely not a spicy wire anymore. Now we need to remove the screws here and here to be able to remove this outlet. We can do it by hand just like this, and if that's what you got, that's okay. But I find it a lot faster to use something like this. Especially if I turn it the right way first. Now when you pull your outlet, you should have some black wires and some white wires. That's relevant in just a second. So we're going to unscrew this wire. You could also cut it off. Sometimes they may be backstabbed. If whoever backstabbed, that would mean basically they stuck the wire in this hole in the back. If somebody did that, just cut them off, and also never let that person wire your house again, because that's just not okay. Don't do that. Now we're going to unscrew this wire. Now in this case it's very simple because there's one black and one white wire. Sometimes you'll see two white wires connected to this side and two black wires connected to this side. We'll talk about that in just a sec. So I'm just going to use my pliers to straighten out these wires. I could probably just chop these off actually. Let's just do it, go ahead and do it that way just to do it differently. So I'm just going to chop that off, and then I'm going to take the wire and match it to the correct size hole, move it around and pull, and that's going to strip off the outside coating of this wire, just like that. So the way the conductor part of the wire is exposed. And you have different size holes on a pair of wire strippers that can do this. So kind of straighten it out and go ahead and cut it off. That way we can do that one more time. So I'll try to straighten this wire. Then we'll put it into the right hole, squeeze and pull, and just like that we get an exposed conductor. So when you're dealing with electricity, as my grandpa taught me, the black ones are dangerous and the white ones are generally safe. Not always, but almost always safe. The black ones are the ones you got to look out for. And it's very important that we don't ever let the blacks and the whites mix. That's not okay. That was the way he taught it to me, and I've never forgotten it. So if there were 4 wires coming out here, 2 of them black, 2 of them white, we can connect the black side and we can connect the white side together, no problem. Everything's perfect. That's how it's supposed to be. If we had 2 black wires, on this particular outlet, we only have 1 screw area, but it's got these places that tighten down with the screw. This is different than backstabbing in the regular outlet, by the way. So we'd put one there, then we tighten this screw, and it's going to hold tight on that side, and those 2 black wires are connected. And then on this side, we'd have the 2 white wires connect in on these holes, just like so. And the 2 white wires would be connected, and that's fine. You never want to end up with a black and a white connected like that. That's never okay. Some of you are probably upset with me for still using that analogy, but everybody that I've ever used it with has always been able to remember it afterwards. And it's not like it's something that I actually believe. It's just a very simple way to remember how these wires go. So now we have the white on this side and the black on that side. So when you're wiring in an outlet, we also have to make sure the ground is connected. So this one has a ground connector right here, just like so. And you can definitely do this. Some people get afraid of electricity because you don't want to burn a house down or anything like that. As long as you keep the black going to the correct side, the white going to the correct side, and the ground is always going to connect to something with a green screw like this. So you'll have those 3 wires connected. At least in the United States, that's always going to be the case. Then we make sure we don't touch this black to anything. The black is the dangerous side. If it's touching anything else, it's a problem. The white, not so much. So make sure the black isn't touching anything. So one of the hardest things about changing an outlet, this was very quick. Unscrew these, connect them into this one, is folding these wires back in. When you try to just push them in, they're going to get in the way, like right now. and then it's going to go in all cattywampus. So what I find is if I bend them all one direction first, kind of backwards, and then pull them outward and bend them kind of like an accordion, and then they'll fold in a little bit neater and a little bit tighter, sometimes. There we go. Just like that, we can get it right back in. So now we tighten this screw down. And I think these are a significant upgrade. Not having to mess with a charging block on the bedside, I think is great. And I put these in several of my houses. There are several different brands. I haven't noticed a major difference between any of them so far. Let's finish it off with the screwdriver here. Let's make sure it works to clean up our mess. We'll plug in the vacuum and turn it on. Seems like it works. I think that's going to be very nice.